Shut up and sit down.
Oh, hello and welcome to a North Wales side-by-side video. The new year has started as the last one finished working, but that's what happens in life, isn't it? Somewhere we got to earn some money to keep paying the bills, to try and keep the lights on, whilst crazy things like net zero go on about everything we do in our daily lives. Net zero that doesn't make any sense. We've got a government that doesn't make any sense. Policies that don't make any sense. And policies that aren't going to make any difference to what's going on in the world. It doesn't make an eighth of a difference. This is a really awkward junction to get out of sometimes. I've got nobody coming from front of us, one car there. My turn. It used to be better getting out of there when this was 2 lanes before they split it, and now there's only 1 lane and the rest of it is cycle track, which you never see anybody on. And the reason why they did that was really simple. This used to be a dual carriageway, and there used to be barriers in the middle on the central reservation. And the barriers needed replacing, so they took the barriers down because it was cheaper to put the cycle track and mark a cycle track out and bring the speed limits down than it was to replace the barriers. That's the only reason why we never got new barriers. This never stayed as a dual carriageway. And that was a couple of years before they dropped the speed limits to 20. So I still think in Wales that 20 mile an hour speed limit had been in the planning for many, many years. Can't prove it, can't disprove it, but that's my feelings on it. Net zero, waste of time. We're a little country trying to do big things. We're trying to show countries like China, India, that you can run a country on zero emissions. Well, that's what the government think, and multiple governments before this one have thought, but it can't be done. It cannot be done. We can't make enough so-called clean renewable energy to run the country. We have to burn fossil fuels because we can produce electricity on demand. We can't do it with unpredictable renewable energy sources. It's what, 6:30 in the evening and it's dark. We've got no solar energy in this country. There's actually no wind tonight either, so we've got no wind produced electricity. It's unreliable. This idea of having total clean energy is not going to work. It's just not a viable energy source. Let's have a little chat about the cars, the emissions, the number of electric cars that they want to sell on year out. The percentages get bigger. 2024's just been gone, and the car industry failed to meet the targets that the government wanted on sales of electric cars. They didn't even get close. But this year, 2025, the percentage of electric car sales must be bigger than it was last year. They didn't do it last year. They're not going to do it in 2025. It's impossible. The only way they're going to make the figures make any sense is restricting and taking away our choices of petrol, diesel and hybrid. Which brings us on to the proposals that came out to the government on Christmas Eve, December 24, 2024, where they proposed to ban certain hybrids as of 2030, but only certain hybrids. And they named the manufacturers. They named Jaguar, Land Rover, Nissan, Ford. They were the ones I can remember having read the article. But it then goes on to say the hybrids they want to ban in 2030, and some of these hybrids are some of the best selling cars in the United Kingdom. But they're what they call a mild hybrid. They're hybrids that have an electrical assist motor, but they're not capable of doing what my Toyota hybrid's doing now, which is driving along in pure EV mode. Because I'm in town, I'm in the 20 limit, this thing's now capable of driving around on pure electricity. Where are you going, mate? You approached that roundabout so fast, I didn't know where you were going. Yeah, the mild hybrids are not capable of doing what they call a full hybrid. They cannot drive on pure electric alone. The little so-called hybrid battery is so small. It's only a 48 volt battery in most instances, and it's there to work as an assist to the internal combustion engine, as and when the internal combustion engine just needs a little bit of help. But mild hybrids are a big con. They can get away with calling them hybrids because they've got a motor that's powered by a battery that's charged by an internal combustion engine, and that's the only way they can get round calling them a hybrid. They're not proper hybrids, but that's what they're trying to ban. But the deeper you read into the legislation, there is also proposals to ban every hybrid except plug-in hybrids as of 2030, and that's buried deep in the consultation paperwork. But all that's been highlighted by other members of the press is the mild hybrids. They haven't mentioned what I call a proper hybrid, the Toyota hybrids, that are all capable of, like I said, electricity only for short distances in town, where this has now become a very quiet vehicle and a non-polluting vehicle. And to be honest, I'm not bothered about the pollution side of things. I remember when I grew up, cars had a distinctive smell when they were going down the road. You could smell the fumes coming out the exhaust. And as years have gone and I've got older and older, we went away from carburettors we got to fuel injected engines. I remember my very first fuel injected car was a Scirocco Mark II GTI, and I was scared of that breaking down. I always panicked that it would break down, because I was always thinking, what is this going to cost me to repair if it breaks? It frightened the living daylights out of me. I love the car. I don't know where the next one's going, so let's do a little bit of sat nav. I know it's somewhere in Abergele and I cannot remember where. I'll do. It's got the right postcode anyhow.
Head north on Sydenham Avenue towards Clwyd Avenue.
Yeah.
In 150 yards,
The British government, in their infinite wisdom,
turn left onto Mysore,
are absolutely hell-bent on totally destroying the economy in the United Kingdom. Absolutely, totally want to destroy us. We're going to end up having no motor vehicles. Well, we're going to have motor vehicles, but it'd be like back in the days when cars first appeared. They will be
left onto Dundonald Avenue,
a luxury item that only suits and can only be afforded by certain people. Yep, you can argue and say, well, what about all the Chinese, cheap Chinese cars at that are coming into Britain? Yes, there's lots of cheaper Chinese cars creeping into the country, but they're not viable because they are literally like a mobile phone, a throwaway commodity. They're built to last 5, if you're lucky you might get 10 years out of one, and you throw it away. That is it, the car's finished when you go and buy another one. But it's good, we're not, let's be brutally honest. When was the last time you actually went into a dealership, said, I want to buy that car, and you paid for it outright? You didn't do it, did you? You either got it on a PCP plan and put a deposit and kept the car for 4 years, then you had options to buy the car, hand it back with no further costs, or use the equity in that car against your next car and continue another PCP. That's what I've been doing for years. I'll admit that is the way I buy my cars. I buy cars because I need cars to do what I do for a living, and I need cars that are not going to let me down, cars that are reliable,
then your destination will be on the right.
cars I can put trust in, something I'm not going to worry about having inherent problems where it's going to break down and I'm not going to know when it's going to break down. I don't want the Ford EcoBoost or a Peugeot PureTech in my life because I know they're going to break down. There is inherent problems with certain cars. That's why I keep buying Toyotas. There's not as many inherent problems with these cars as there is with other brands. Let me get rid of this last one of this batch of deliveries. This video is going to be so random, it's going to take me a fair bit of putting together to make it make any sense and context, I should say, not content. I'm creating content. Yeah, we were talking about net zero. Whatever the government say about net zero, one, it doesn't make any sense. Two, it's propaganda. I'm going to get a strike for saying that word, aren't I? Should we call it a pomegranate? Propaganda equals a pomegranate. No, I'm just going to get strikes off YouTube, or they're going to take the video down because of one word. Let's take the chance. I've already had a video taken down the other night because they didn't like something I said. No, it wasn't something I said, it was the title of the video they did not like. So all I did was I changed the title of the video and I never monetarised it. That was how I got round getting it up in the end. Changed the title and didn't monetarise the video. Because I'm on a strike at the moment for something I said in a video, and I think I've got 4 weeks left on the strike. Because if I make another one, they'll demonetize the channel for a period of time. So yeah, I'm just being a little careful at the moment. But to be honest, even if I got demonetized, it's not going to stop me making videos. You've got to go and talk to Richard Vobes on that. He's got a very, very good channel talking about everything that's going on in the world, in the country, and YouTube just, he said something they didn't like. I think he was talking about what happened in 2020, and they just took him down. I think they took him down for 2 weeks. They wouldn't let him post. He had no control over the channel, and then they demonetized him, and he's still demonetized. Yeah. If they don't like what you're saying, they just turn you off. I thought the whole idea of YouTube was in the name. It's your tube, television tube, your television tube. You make the program, you say what you want, within reason, but it should be freedom of speech, but it's not freedom of speech anymore. It's not freedom of speech on YouTube, it's not freedom of speech on any of the social networks anymore. Britain's another one. The United Kingdom is terrible. You say one thing about our government, bang, they're on you like a ton of bricks. They really don't like you criticising Mr. Starmer. But we've got a government who ignore the people, and they are ignoring us. There's been the petition going on in the United Kingdom to call for a general election, and they've actually closed the petition now. It could have run a lot longer, but it got to over 3 million signatures. That just shows what the people of the country feel about what's going on. They've voiced an opinion by signing a petition. That's what it was about. We know it's going to get us nowhere fast. We're not going to get another general election. The only person that can make the government have a general election is Prince Charles. Sorry, Did I call him Prince Charles? I did, didn't I? Yeah, we'll call him Prince Charles. I still don't recognise him as the replacement for the Queen. He shouldn't be there. He should not be in that position. But old Charlie boy is the only one that can disband the government, and he's not interested either. He's not bothered one little bit. He's in his own little net zero bubble. He's raking the dollars in off all these things that are going on. He's got arms in every single pie going, you believe me. He's not going to upset the apple cart, is he? He's going to leave this government to do whatever they want. He doesn't care. There's no moisture in the air, there's no wind. It's just a crisp, cold winter's night, and it is lovely. But saying that, it's been a lovely, crisp, cold day as well. This afternoon was just absolutely beautiful. It would have been a nice day to take Sharon for a walk. But Margaret went out this afternoon and she took Sharon with her. So I let her go and I went to see a friend. To be honest, I needed the break. I needed the break. I needed some time to myself just to re-energise. Well, it's a shame you can't see what I'm driving past. Got an old quarry to my left. We've got entrance to the landfill, which is way up in the mountain, which again was an old quarry. And to my left here, I've got the old brick quarry. And beyond where this car, and I'm going to turn now, which will be to my right as I'm going up the mountain, we have an ICI quarry. It's a limestone quarry, high quality limestone. They don't pull very much out of it anymore, but it's still a working quarry. I love pedestrians, absolutely love them. They don't look, they just walk straight out. The beep wasn't the accident avoidance, the beep was because the temperature's just dropped below 3 degrees and I've just had an ice warning. So temperatures are beginning to come down. That's a proper Land Rover, not the crap they make nowadays. Good old 2.5 TDI. What a cracking engine. Hi Wendy.
Hello, Paul.
Hello. Oh, Tiff.
You know number one opposite store?
Yep. Gary's house.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Can you go that 1 second or like?
I was going to that one. I'm on my way to that one now, actually.
Okay, cool. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, see you then.
I wasn't going to miss him out, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Alright,
See you in a
see
bit.
ya.
Alright then.
Bye bye.
Ta. I sometimes doubt the office realise I do know what I'm doing. They've given me a batch of deliveries. I've looked at them and I've gone, right, that one's the closest, that's the next one, that one's the furthest away. And that's the order I'm doing them in. And they've just rung me up now, you probably heard the conversation. Can you do this delivery second? Well, it was going to be second because it wasn't the closest and it's not the furthest away. Yeah, and sometimes I think they know what I'm doing. I've only been doing it for 25 years. And I think I know my way around this little village better than the people in the office who were putting the orders together and sending them out in batches and just doing it off postcodes. Somebody's lost their fluorescent. I'm leaving it. Black cat there, that's good luck. Yeah, we were talking about net zero energy production. I was saying, we've got no solar at the moment, and my God, is lights are bright. That's about the only solar energy that's going to make any electric. Guy on high beam, and we've got no wind, so we've got no wind energy. So yeah, I was saying what we need is coal, gas, nuclear and biomass. Right, whilst we're on the fact of coal and biomass, there's a big massive power station in this country, in the United Kingdom, called Drax. Now, over the last few years, Drax has been converted from a coal power station to a biomass power station. It doesn't burn coal anymore. The coal used to be produced in this country, to be burnt in this country, transported by British Railways. So it kept everything in-house. And that power station could produce energy on demand. It's called power station. Now it's been converted to biomass. We don't produce the biomass in the United Kingdom. So it might be a clean source of electricity by burning biomass, but the transportation required in getting the biomass fuel to the power station is a massive task. Somewhere in the world you've got to cut the trees down. So there's forestry involved. Chainsaws, trucks to get the logs and the trees out to the forest. It's then got to be processed. It's then got to be dried, turned into biomass, pumped into gigantic freight liners to cross the sea where it's produced, because it's not produced in the United Kingdom. It either comes from China or Canada or America. So, whoa. I love people who don't even look to see what's coming, they just pull out on you. Yeah, so they're going on about environmentally friendly energy generation. What's Maggie chasing me for now? That's the third message I've had off whilst I've been talking to you. I'll have a look in a minute. Oh, that's number 4. There'll be another one in a minute. Probably trying to get my attention. Dog's probably up to something absolutely stupid. He's probably running around the garden like an absolute lunatic. And she's been taking photographs, so it's like, I ain't got time to look at him now. Yeah, the carbon footprint of just bringing the biomass into the United Kingdom from foreign countries to burn in this country is immense. We've got the technology to clean the fumes up off the coal. Why aren't we using it? We can mine the coal in this country ourselves, gives people a job. We can make the smokeless fuels to burn in the power station, gives people a job. We can burn coal. We can use the cinders for making building blocks. We can build cheap houses that are already self-insulated. Now, dozy government don't see the downsides of net zero. We can see what's going on in the country. An absolute, utter disaster.